Good evening, Internet, and welcome to Top Shift number 101. Well, Lavecon is over and done with. I was there for the Saturday, and yeah, it was phenomenal. I have to say thank you to everybody who turned up to Lavecon and bought me a drink. I must admit, on the stream on the Sunday night, I do have to apologise for that, because basically I was half-cut. It just seemed very rude to refuse anybody's free drink, so yes. So at the moment I'm going to be on juice for quite a while. So what I was planning to do tonight was fly down to try and help out with Titan's Daughter, one of the prettiest stations I have visited. Unless of course I see a Thargoid signal source about 4-ish. Oh, there's a surprise. Because I do like a good fight with the with those horrible little scouts. So, what happened at Lavecon? Well, for those of you who are interested, did the intro. That was quite useful. Helped Grant out with a big quiz. That was a laugh. I really wish I could have stayed for the rest of that. And I did a miniatures demo. Steve Kirby and Steve G's. Thank you very much for taking part. I'll be putting a video of that up at some point. Oh, hang on a sec. And deploy the fighter.
Engaging telepresence. Stand by, Commander.
There's about to be some somewhere.
I'm out of the hatch, Commander. Tell me where you need me.
Oh, baddies already.
We're outnumbered here, Commander. Gotta fight smart. Order received. Engaging.
There we go. Gotta get these guys. That's one down.
Enemy destroyed. Affirmative. I see the target, Commander. Moving to attack position.
Flying a T-10 with two AX turrets does feel
My hull is
little-
down to 50%. I need to get out of this, Commander.
Oh dear, it sounds like the fighter has just gone through the corrosive cloud.
My hull's about to breach, Commander.
Well, nothing I can do about it. And there goes the fighter.
Lost
So,
comms with the fighter. I think we've
watch
lost
the next
it.
one.
Caustic damage detected.
No.
Roger that, sir. Deploying the fighter.
It's a good job I've got plenty of those limpets.
I'm ready to go, Commander.
Right.
Yes, Commander. Focusing fire now.
Good old T-10 can take so much punishment. Unfortunately, I haven't engineered it as much as I should have done so far. But it's on the to-do list.
Under attack.
Really? Thank you. You see these AX weapons rip through these things.
That's another strike for me. Enemy destroyed.
Is it?
Order received. Engaging.
Here we go. In range. That's another fighter ready, just in case we need it. 33% for this last one. that's the end of that.
Target eliminated.
That's not too bad. Oh, hang on before I forget.
Power plant capacity exceeded. Program limpet drone.
Okay, fighter,
Taking
in you
damage.
come.
Taking damage.
Yes, Commander.
Caustic
Returning to docking
substance
bay now.
neutralized.
Ah, and a threat from somebody else to say that we need to be safe on our journey. Well, I'm fine with that. So we have at the moment 40,000 credits. That's not bad. Limpet repair, excellent. So the decon's finished.
Program limpet drone.
I mean, a quick look around.
Fighter is secured, Commander. Diagnostics complete.
I was hoping to see him dock then. Right. So my rope. I always like doing that. Just look at the engines. It's huge. Also, like the kind of effect that it's got on the screen. It's as if it's bouncing off the screen. Hopefully we'll have something up and running in the next couple of seconds. Just waiting for this repair limit to kick in. We should be good to go. So yes, where were we? Oh yeah, the miniatures game that went very well. It was really nice to get a couple of guys involved. There was a couple of games run in the games room afterwards, which surprised me because we had the Asp out for the first time, and an Asp and a Cobra taking on two very small ships, and the two small ships were able to hold their own, which is a good sign because I wanted it to be balanced, and it turned out to be balanced, which I just wish I had the presence of mind to take some photos. But we do have a video from Lavecon, which, like I said before, I will be putting up as soon as I can get it.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
So at the moment, we will be taking repair details to Titan's daughter. There's the usual stuff in Galnet, but this is the one I need to look at. There's been quite a lot which have been repaired lately. I can't remember which one is there. It's not Bow's Landing. Barfall Vision. That does seem to be a bit of a problem with whether or not these things are actually adding up properly. I think it's been reported to Frontier, but nothing's happened yet. And of course the other big news is the 28th of June is when 3.1 is released. Now, it does seem to be quite a lot of... They did say it was going to be a smaller update, and they've certainly been right about that. So we're after beryllium, gallium and lithium. Titanium is also useful. Aluminium as well. Right, okay, well, just see what's there. Is that level 4? Level 5. No, that'll be a Cyclops, we'll leave that one alone. I have been teaming up with other commanders to take out Thargoids down the Pleiades, and it's been quite successful. So far, I may have lost about 10 T9s, but I've now managed to kill more Thargoids than I've lost T10, so I'm beginning to win. And I must admit, the actual Thargoid fights themselves, I'm really enjoying. The tactics and that you have to come up with in order to deal with them. It's phenomenal. Although, admittedly, once you've worked what the pattern out is, it does seem, well, it's not repetitive, but we haven't got bored of it yet, put it that way. Nessie, deadly. Great, IOP he's not a pirate. Last thing I need is a blooming pirate. Oh god, he is as well. Right, well, let's hope that I can hold my own here. This is going to be interesting. You'll catch up with me just near to my rope, I think. Because that's all. There we are. There we are. Too fast. Here we go. Right. This thing is about a T10. I don't think it's good enough to get out of this trouble. Oh, might be. Hang on, hang on. Wow! That's the first time I've ever invaded something in a T10. Right, where is... That's made my night, that has. I thought I was dead and buried then. I mean, if the T10 had been equipped with anti-human weapons instead of anti-Thargoid weapons, I think it would have stood a chance, but the EX weapons as they are do not do anything like they need to in order to take out something as good as a gunship. So, would have been an interesting fight, I suppose, especially with the fighter. So, Lavecon, yes, and of course the big news there was the Frontier panel, where they showed off some of the things that were happening with 3.1 and what they've got planned for 3.3, or the Q4 update, which is supposed to be the big one for the year. And I must admit, my overall impressions was I was very impressed with just what they were showing, especially with just the lighting models. I wasn't able to say anything at the time. I mean, Frontier just turned up with basically a flash drive with all the videos and things like that, and I think it was only Grant who saw them all in before they were broadcast. But yeah, I think everything that they talked about was appreciated. Right, let's get back down to Alcazar's Hope.
Orbital flight engaged.
Gonna be cutting this bit out.
Lavecon Papa, Alpha Yankee. This is flight control. Please follow established docking procedures and request access before you approach the port.
Right, well, as you can see, I'm approaching Alcazar's hub at the moment. I must admit, when you actually look around at these planetary, the planet itself, it is such an improvement over the 2.4 version. It's fantastic. People cannot complain about the beige plague anymore, because when you get up close, you can see these kind of details put in. It stops the space madness, put it that way, especially in the long trips. And of course, there's more to come, because the stuff that they showed off at the panel, especially with the new Explorer mechanics.
Attention! Deploy landing gear.
I was quite blown away by, actually. It did sound as if they'd been thinking about all the ways to improve it, but without taking away the existing functionality, because that's some of the things that.
Landing successful. Dispatching ground crew.
Yeah, that's some of the things that people are scared about at the moment. I mean, one of the big things that's happening is that Sandro put a proposal up about power play. And this power play thing has been now raging on for almost a month. The upshot of it all is that they are thinking of moving power play into an open-only mode. Or rather, any vouchers or anything like that you gain during power play won't count unless you play it in open. I'm perfectly fine with that. I think it's could be slightly modified, where you maybe only the vouchers count against the background simulation if you're in open, but you can still use those vouchers to get all the appropriate pieces of equipment and trade bonuses if you play in private and solo. You just doesn't count against the actual background simulation of power play. Because the problem with power play is that there is no way to counter what is known as a basically leaflet bombing. You can't stop them. The only alternative is you leaflet bomb one of their systems. And that, to me, kind of defeats the object of the whole thing about power play. Power play to me was supposed to be, a consensual PvP area where commanders would fly to one place while escorted by their friends, while other commanders would try and stop them. And if you've ever been involved in something like that, which the Hutton Truckers have, the first big community goal that the Hutton Truckers got involved with, that was phenomenal. It really was, because it was all done in open. We had to take all our stuff to Hutton Orbital, and on the way the Code and quite a few other pirate groups was out to stop us. And it was all consensual, everybody was on board with it, and a good time was had by all. I don't think I heard one bad thing about the entire event. And if they could replicate that kind of playability and that kind of community into power play, which is the kind of thing that I always suspected it would be, then I think it would turn power play into being the joke, one of the jokes of the game, into a viable game mode. Now, other people are complaining about the fact that power play is... Frontier made a promise that all three game modes would be equal, something like in, I don't know, just before it was released. I think it was, everyone quotes something that Michael Brooks said. And yet I can understand where he's coming from, because sometimes I don't want to play with other people. I'm quite happy to play in solo if I just need to chill. I don't want to have to look over my shoulder all the time in a CG. Anyway, but you still want your efforts to be counted. It's just that I feel that power play is slightly different, because you've signed up for that kind of gameplay. And, well, it's a case of buyer beware. It's the same kind of thing in open, where you've got to be aware that there will be some idiots out there who are out to get you. While in Mobius or in Solo, there won't be. There'll just be NPCs to worry about. So let's see, is there anything here I can... Oh, bioreducing lichen. I think that's what I've got. I have. Right, I'll have that.
Mission objective complete.
Yeah, that's nice. So let's see, is there any more I've got here? Nope. Are they after any bioreducing lichen? Nope. Bioreducing lichen, I've got plenty of it. No, they just want beer. Lithium... Semiconductor. For a second there, I thought I heard a Thargoid near this station, which is a bit of a shame because I've got an awful lot of... Oh, look at that, a wing mission to massacre anthill mob pirates. I need to kill 129 of them in Maya. I need to get some friends involved in that one. Right, assassinate Pirate Lord Blue. Might be interesting. Special ops, scan job. Idiom. Structure of regulators. Yeah. Dum 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 dum. You're tea? Plenty of tea? No. This is one of the things that you end up looking through and going, yeah. Right. So Cooper Research gets my 12 units of bioreducing lichen, which is alright, I suppose. There'll be anything else there, will there? Yeah. Right. So, back to the commodities. Now, let's see. We've got machinery here, we've got metals, no metals whatsoever. We do have plenty of minerals, so we can take those to a refinery and get the metals we need for Titan's Daughter. Question is where's the nearest refinery? Right, there we are. 300 credits profit per ton. Not even 100,000 credits profit. Oh well. Right, to the shipyard then. And to big jobs, my T9 Heavy. So the exploration stuff was exciting, I would say, because it added another layer of, and some skill-based interaction to the scanning of the quite boring process of scanning planets. And it's nice to see, it kind of, I should put this, it doesn't renew faith, it kind of reinvigorates confidence that this is something that they're looking at, this is something that they're continually working on. Because, as usual, after about 2 weeks, or 3 weeks on the forums after a release, you normally have people complaining that that's it, they've done all the content, and they're bored now, and Frontier aren't doing anything. But it's pretty obvious from what was shown off at Lavecon that they are, and doing a lot. I mean, 3.1 and 3.2 are not going to be massive releases. I mean, I am still hoping that they'll fix this low-level crime issue with the crime and punishment system. But we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. So, we are now in the T10, the T9, which isn't a ship which is my favourite, I will be honest. Right, all this just to get stuff to Titan's Daughter. Let's see. Reasonable production here, that's not too bad. I think that is quite good. You can see there's a lot of places here that receive this particular commodity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly to Atlas. I think it's a bit of a way.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Oh, thank you very much. I forgot I've got a different character on this one. The Type 9 Heavy has vibrant purple, and it has Victor. Lot of... I don't have any string lights. So I've got a Typhon, I've got a Conda, and I've got an SRV, so... Oh, do I have crew? I better make sure I've got crew. Ah, Dominique. She's managed to improve a little. Although I must admit, I've had Aubrey Kennedy with me for quite a while, and she's managed to jump an entire rank. She's now expert, which is really good. Helping me out with the Thargoids. Right then, where to now? Oh, before I forget. Extra few points towards the good old combat ranking. Right, to the galaxy map. Now, we need a refinery, which is orange. So we've got Atlas there. The only problem with Atlas is if I show you, the station for Atlas is quite a way away. Still, should be able to make a decent amount of credits. And hopefully there'll be enough there to take down to Titan's daughter.
You are clear for departure.
If you think the T-10 is sluggish, oh, still matlocked.
Drive charging.
Of course, the other big thing they talked about at Lavecon was mining.
2, 1, engage.
As my colleague on Lave Radio has said, every now and again they talk about it as it's like fishing in Elite Dangerous, which is nice if you want to have a nice chill out session. But they've put a bit of an edge onto it this time. It does look as if the exploding of asteroids, if you can scan decent asteroids and then try and mine them and explode them to extract minerals, does seem to be give mining a little bit of an edge. I mean, you'll be able to carry on doing mining as it is, but if you want the real big bucks, then you've got to start mining with the new functionality. I do like the fact that they're keeping a lot of things as they are and not changing them, and they're adding to it, if you see what I mean. That way it kind of takes a lot of the sting out of people who have been doing things in their own way for quite a while. Personally, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, there was two other things about 2.1 which was discussed. A hint was dropped that there are 2 ships coming in 2.1. Everybody has assumed that it's going to be the Crate as one of them. The other one, of course, is the alteration to the Chieftain, which I've seen, it looks quite nice, to be honest.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And of course these ships are not locked behind any rank progress or anything like that, which it's good. It's supposed to be more manoeuvrable, have better hard points than the Chieftain at the moment. So I expect it to be more expensive.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
I'll tell you one thing, other thing that I actually quite like, which I suppose is a guilty pleasure. This.
Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. A descendant of Amerohem, one of the UNRWA's senior members, has been murdered by terrorist group the League of Reparation. The murder recreated the circumstances of Commander John Jameson's death, and has been interpreted as an act of poetic justice by the League of Reparation. Senior Agent Tanya Ramirez said that the League was using theatrical tactics to ensure its message reached the media. In other news, Princess Aisling Duval met with not one but two of her suitors over the weekend, Federal Ambassador Jordan Rochester and Senator Caspian Leopold. The former was invited to a function at the Princess's Palace on Emerald, while the latter made an unofficial visit the following day. Meanwhile, the Lathe Radio Network has announced plans to broadcast its annual conference from the Dassault system. To ensure they can share the event with the entire galaxy, the network has placed an open order for various commodities. But the Lathe Jet family has responded with a rival campaign designed to undermine the Lathe Radio initiative, inviting pilots to deliver commodities to help in the construction of a signal jammer. Two initiatives to restore starports damaged by the Thargoids have reached successful conclusions. Hundreds of pilots supported the campaigns by delivering construction materials to Dantec Enterprise in the Sotcho system, and to the Oracle in the Pleiades. Finally, a valuable work of art has been stolen by a mysterious and highly skilled criminal. A spray-painted graphic of what looked like a winking cat was discovered at the scene of the crime, which took place in the Garden City Gallery on Turnus World in the Alioth system. Garden City security forces are investigating, but as yet have no leads. And those are the main stories this week.
I do like the
Theft baffles security experts. A valuable work of art.
Although not as good, I think, as the Galactic News, which is put together by a friend of ours, Commander Pete with a spoon. So we've got the Theft that battles, Starport repair, conflict in Lathe. It's actually quite funny that, because I think I submitted the Jet, the Jet family one, as a joke for last year's Lavecon, but it wasn't implemented in time. But it seemed they had this in background, so that's alright. Good to go. This is a bit of a long trek though. So we've got a Viper there. Oh, Diamondback, he's not going to be a pirate. But this ship is definitely set up to deal with pirates, and I have been quite lucky. I think I've been able to take out up to dangerous level NPCs in quite big ships, cutters at least, or is it clippers? I think clippers actually, Imperial clippers. I've been able to take out, and Federal gunships using just the fighter. So I would say that this T9 is certainly a lot more dangerous since the fighters came along. Mind you, I've been saying that since 2.2 was released almost 2 years ago now. Can you believe that? 2.2, 2 years ago. Well, I think what I'll do for the moment is I will cut it here. I'll make the final approach to using the magical power of editing. I will finally pull into Titan's Daughter so you can see the beauty of the station when I get there. I've got to do a loop of shame first, so I'll catch you in a bit. And welcome back. As you can see, we have a ride-in system, and I have Titan's daughter just set here. It's quite close to the star, so it's quite a good drop-off point if this
Disengage.
if the space station was not needing repair so much. So overall, what did I think of Lavecon 2018? Awesome. It always is, and it's always such nice to meet everybody, and everything is just so positive. It kind of it gives you confidence for the future of the community in the game when you meet people like this, because when you go on the forums too much, which I think it can be fair to say I have been going on the forums too much lately, you're just overwhelmed by the negativity and the criticism of the devs and all that kind of stuff. And unless you are a developer, which I am, but I don't develop games like this, you've got no idea what is entailed in order to put this in. And you see in the forums so many backseat developers or people who claim that they know how to code better than Frontier would and things like that. If you think you're that good, then do a Derek Smart and try and write one yourself. Now, I'm probably going to get myself into a lot of trouble for invoking that name. Personally, I don't like the gentleman in question, but I do respect him because at least he had the gumption to actually go out and write his own game to do it. And sometimes when you hear what people complain about on the forums, you just think, nah, you're just stirring it. So here we come into Titan's Daughter. In my opinion, one of the prettiest stations in Elite Dangerous. Mostly because of where it is.
India Golf. This is Flight Operations Department. Please comply with established docking procedures, Commander.
But admittedly, I think I've come on the wrong day. Last time I was here, it was filled with these beautiful purples. Oh. That's a bit of a shame.
Flight assist off.
Access granted. Cleared for landing on docking
Although I must
bay
admit,
10.
when you see it to the back of the asteroid field, that does look quite nice.
Flight assist on.
But last time I was here, it was all purple. It wasn't all red. Oh well. Maybe next time. So as you can see, yep, station is still under repair after the Thargoid attack. And I think I'm coming too fast.
Vector, Commander.
You can still see some of the caustic damage above there. Haven't cleaned that up, but I do like all these repair scaffolds and things like that. And of course, flying into these stations when they're actually still in a bad state.
Reports of heavy traffic around this facility. Please take care.
Oh, there was one final thing that did pique my interest at the Frontier panel. There does seem to be that System Authority vessels and stations will now start reacting to Thargoids if they come into range. Now, what does this imply for the plot that's going to happen in 3.2? I have no idea, but I'm looking forward to finding out. So that's it for Top Shift 101. If you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe down below. And on top of that, if you ever want to buy anything for Elite Dangerous, please consider using my affiliate link down below. Another thing to look for is the ED tracker. Always a useful head tracker for mozzies around here now, for a much smaller price than normal. And well, thank you for joining me, and once again, thanks to everybody I said hello to or I missed at Lavecon. It was a blast. Fingers crossed for 2019.